Is why do women need closure so badly?
Is it A, not knowing why you did what you did drives us crazy?
Is there anything I could have done
Is it B, we're hoping you'll change your mind?
to save our relationship?
Or is it C, we want you to feel as bad as we do?
I'm sorry if it hurt you, but I have a girlfriend. I just hope you got the closure, you was looking for,
Welcome back to River Queen Conjure, Oshun Ajay exclusive, and No Narc Network TV. I am the Oracle, Oshun Ajay. This is Twinflame Trials and Triumphs, Volume 4, Reloaded. Okay, my last Twin Flames Trials and Triumphs actually ended up being blocked by, I believe, one of the people in the video. Okay, and so it cannot be shown on YouTube. However, the first Volume 4 will be available in Oshun Ajay exclusive, and it may still be up on No Narc Network TV as well. Okay, but it has been blocked on River Queen Conjures. So I just reloaded a different Volume 4. Okay, so this Volume 4 is about needing closure after you've been ghosted and left with no explanation or answers as to why the relationship ended. Check it out.
Is there anything I could have done to save our relationship?
Keisha, I think you're a great person. I think you're a good person. And I appreciate the fact that you realized how closed off you were, but to answer your question, I think you could have saved the relationship by being more appreciative, putting more effort, the same way I did, and I kept stepping towards you, but you kept stepping back, and marriage was out the question because don't nobody want to marry anyone who not showing the same appreciation as them or who not giving their effort like them. So that just pushed me back, and as far as right now, I have a girlfriend, and I love her to death. And that's what I want to get you to see, is that you got to appreciate the people that's in your life. The people that come in your life, you don't know how long they're going to be there. You got to appreciate them while they're there, because when they're gone and you don't appreciate them, they got every right to walk away from you. And that's what I wanted to get you to see. So I'm sorry if it hurt. I'm sorry if it hurt you, but I just hope you got the closure you was looking for.
Thank you.
Now, let me say this before I asked you what you feel. I think he said some things that might have mattered to you, but guess what? He didn't really tell you nothing you didn't already know. See, ladies, when you're looking for closure, you really already know.
The reason why I highlighted the places where he basically saying, before I ask you what you're feeling, let me ask you, did he tell you something that you didn't already know? Okay, because the differences in the ways that the divine feminine and masculine are wired resides in these two things. Okay, so basically the divine feminine is focused on what we are feeling. Okay, because most of us are natural empaths. Okay, so we feel things much deeper than the average person can understand. Okay, and the masculines reside in their left brain, where they're all about the thought process and intellect. Okay, so what's not being acknowledged here is that when someone is ghosted, it's not the same as when you have the relationship is declining and you have a conversation like adults, and there's even if there's an argument and you left, you kind of know what happened. But when you get ghosted, I can say for my own personal situation, there was no signs of anything, because we, of course, every relationship has its problems. We had our ups and downs, but I would say about 3 or 4 days before I was ghosted, we had the most passionate love making. We had a deep conversation where he told me that, he was never going to leave me again, that no matter what, we were going to work through this and stay together. It was team us. So 3 or 4 days later, he has disappeared. Okay. And literally, I have not had a conversation with him since. Okay. And so basically, when a woman needs closure on in this type of situation, it's not about needing to know what happened or why. I mean, yes, that is a component of it, but it's more about needing to feel that the person respected you enough your financial stability, and, all of the other things that they just basically bailed out on. It's about feeling that this person cared or respected you enough to at least sit down, properly have a conversation, and properly say goodbye. This is why the reason we have a funeral even when people die, so that people can have closure, so they can properly say goodbye, so they can pay their last respects. The key word here being respect, okay? So, this is why, when we're ghosted, for me, it was a mourning worse than death, because this person is alive and well and, is acting like they don't understand the need to properly say goodbye, the need to have a final conversation and to properly pay your last respects, to let that person know that, yes, I respect your feelings enough to at least give you an understanding of what's happening here, so that you know where to file this experience away at in your brain, okay? So that you have time to prepare financially. You know what I'm saying? So when you do not have, know where to file this away at in your brain or in your heart, then you're left in limbo, and it's devastating. It's just as it would be for anyone who, had this sudden shock of their life, doing a complete 360 with no warning. Most people who have been in a relationship with a narcissist, when they're doing wrong, a lot of times your intuition is telling you what they're doing wrong or that something's not right. But if you were to approach it with your intuition alone as the evidence, you're going to be made to look like the insecure one, the crazy one, the one who's making trouble. Okay. And then a lot of people do not want to just end their relationship off of their intuition alone. You need concrete evidence. The respectable thing to do would be for them, before they start another relationship, to respect the friendship aspect of your relationship, to end it, okay, before they start the next relationship, to sit down with you face to face and properly articulate their position, okay, so that you have a clear understanding. The reason why they don't give you a clear understanding is because they have started another relationship before they ended the relationship with you. They know that this is wrong, and they just don't want to have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Their plan is to let enough time pass, just like in this particular situation. This is 4 years later, okay? They always run away. They think that time is going to scramble up the details of what actually happened so that they can reframe the details of it and make you the villain. Every narcissist that has ever ghosted someone always tells the same story. You weren't there for me. You didn't give me what I needed. Basically, their stories that you weren't my perfect idea of a perfect mate, and therefore I left you. Now, normally they are the ones who are neglectful and abusive in the relationship, and their mate has stuck by them all the way up to the point where they ghosted them. The reason why they ghosted is because they've already started another relationship and decided that you are no longer worth their time or effort. The way that they went about it was absolutely wrong. They know it was hurtful, and they stay away so long so that you never get around to addressing why they did what they did the way that they did it. Because this is what hurts you the most, okay? It's not the fact that you didn't know what was happening. It's the fact that they didn't care or respect you enough to sit down, clearly articulate their feelings, allow you to articulate yours, and properly say goodbye. To top it off, when they come back, they're still so arrogant that they actually have the audacity to say shit like this.
You're the most brilliant people in the world. I don't know why when it's over, all of a sudden y'all act like y'all don't know nothing. Know nothing. Know nothing.
Yet they are the ones acting clueless as to why you're so hurt that they left you with no warning and didn't even say goodbye.
You know everything because you have intuition.
Relying on your intuition is absolutely essential. However, it is absolutely disgusting that you would be in a relationship with another person, and because they are not expected to be honest, you have to rely on your intuition above the words that they're saying to you, because it's absolutely not true, and they think this is normal.
So I think now, how you feel right now, Lakeisha?
After having been in limbo for 4 whole years, it would be absolutely impossible to convey to anyone who hasn't been through it what that feels like.
Well, Like you said, I already knew it, but it just hurts just to hear from the source. But it's definitely going to help me move on, move on, move on.
And it would have helped her move on 4 years ago had he been considerate enough to offer her this clarity before he left her and not 4 years after.
Well, see, look, it can't hurt no more. You already knew. He told you.
Another mistake that people who are not empathic tend to make is that no one has the right to tell another person how long they should be heard about something or whether or not they should be heard at all. Because they have not acknowledged the wrong in the way that it was done, they are not acknowledging your feelings about the way that it was done. So your feelings are basically being dismissed by him saying you can't be heard about it because you already knew.
Told you 4 years ago.
So like I said before, they run and they stay away hoping that over time, the details of what happened will get scrambled up and they can somehow put you in the position of the villain. Now, the truth is that for 4 years, she's been in emotional limbo, psychological limbo. She's been hurting for 4 whole years because it's a wound that has not healed over. Okay. And so when she finally gets to the point where she gets an explanation from the person, she has this other person telling her, now, you can't be heard about that because he told you 4 years ago. I'm sure that if you got down to the details of it, she remembers that 4 years ago, it probably was a text message. It probably was, an email. It was something that was indirect. There was no face-to-face conversation. There was no closure, which is why she's on the show. But the reason why I wanted to point it out is because this is what is going to happen with the mainstream society. Most people are not empathic in nature, and they are going to dismiss your feelings just like the narcissist did. This was the main reason why they ran and let that time go by, so that by the time you're telling your story, people are saying, well, you can't be heard about that now because that was 4 years ago.
Bishop Jake said this best. You can't drive your car looking in the rearview mirror.
The narcissist knows that you can't drive your car looking in the rearview mirror. This is why they ghost you. They don't want you to move on until they've secured another source of supply. And even then, they want to leave the door open in case they want to come back.
You can't. You're going to keep crashing.
The narcissist is fully aware of this.
Now, he in the rearview mirror. Nice ass rearview mirror now. Boy, nice right here, boy. Nice.
By the time you're able to give voice to your feelings, it's irrelevant to the people listening. And usually the narcissist has convinced them of their innocence and they are being commended for the way that they moved on. Hell, I don't think it's funny.
So I've been in a number of relationships, and I've noticed that when they come to an end, that women really would like to know why. They want to know what went wrong. And I've had, different girls calling and texting, just trying to confront me, trying to figure out, why things didn't end happily ever after. So my question is, why do women need closure so badly?
Well, in our survey, the ladies were asked, why do women demand closure when a relationship ends? Is it A, not knowing why you did what you did drives us crazy? Is it B, we're hoping you'll change your mind? Or is it C, we want you to feel as bad as we do? Look at all the fellas. C. Well, fellas, this one was a landslide 82%. A, not knowing why you did what you did drives them crazy.
Now, they telling us that we need to use our intuition, but why didn't they already know this? I mean, anyone would know that if someone came up missing, that not knowing what happened would drive you crazy. This is why I said that it was like a death where, someone committed suicide and didn't leave a note. It would be all of the unanswered questions. Why is this a conundrum? Why do you need to do a survey to know what is just should be common sense?
Where's Camille? Oh, hi.
Hi. So, Steve, when we don't get closure, we do tend to go a little nuts. Like, we don't enjoy it. It goes through our heads. I had a boyfriend of a year, and I woke up one day, and out of the blue, he just wanted to break up. Didn't give me a reason. So, So I emailed his friend and I said, well, you know, I guess we can't be friends anymore because, you know, he's doing his own thing. P.S., do you have any insight to the situation? I'm kind of dying over here. His friend had nothing. So a few months later, I found out what the reason was. It had nothing to do with me, but I wish he just told me that. But I wish he just told me that. But I wish he just told me that from the beginning. It would have saved me months of overanalyzing for no reason.
Okay, ladies. I am going to again speak for all 2,000 men. Men, as bad as you want it.
And because they don't give a damn about what you want.
Men do not do closure.
Whether it would ease your pain and help you heal and move forward or not.
We're not interested in what you do after us.
Because the sad fact of the matter is,
we don't care, don't care, don't care. We done. To us, decent is, it's over, let's not drag it out, no haggling. That's decent.
Yet they came to this conclusion within the confines of their own minds and acted it out without having a conversation or discussion with you about it at all.
I just feel that that's really selfish. He's selfish. So, like, if you're just going to drop somebody and walk away, and like you said, being decent, if you know that that's something that 82% of women say that they need, be decent about it. You know, we didn't work out because, that's all.
Right. This is excellent. First of all, what you're saying is absolutely correct. Let's just be fair about it. But let me ask you something. In every relationship that you've ever been in that has gone away,
pay attention to how when someone presents a valid point, how smoothly the narcissist shifts the blame.
Did not you know in your heart of hearts this was not a good relationship? Didn't you really know? Really, didn't you really know? Listen to me, really, let's be honest.
Yes, you intuitively knew that it was not a good relationship, and you were still loyal to your partner and willing to work on the relationship, willing to do what it took to make it better, hoping you could grow together and overcome your challenges. This in no way justifies them ghosting you with no warning and leaving without saying goodbye. At what point do they hold themselves accountable for betraying you?
You all have the most greatest gift God could give you. You have intuition. If you're not using it, it's because you're using your heart.
And in the narcissist's mind, using your heart makes you weak, which is why they use their intellect alone to make their decisions. Intuition that is not rooted in the emotions is no intuition at all. We know the truth by the way it feels.
But your intuition is very real.
Intuition can only be considered quote unquote real when there is a perfect balance between the heart and the head, okay? So the narcissist using the head only is like a robot operating at the commands of a computer program. And the empath operating off love and light only will find themselves lost in a world full of robots who see you as nothing more than a source of supply. We will achieve balance as long as the divine feminine energy continues to rise. But until that time.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Take us over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electric line to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Man bought a little bit of baby girl. baby boy. Man, make them happy, 'cause man, make them toys.